House Bill 1212 by Representative James, relative to municipalities, provide relative to the incorporation of municipalities, provide relative to electors who are entitled to vote in an election.
Representative James.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, House Bill 1212 deals with municipal incorporations. Under current law, if an area seeks to incorporate, only that small area gets to vote on the incorporation. My bill seeks to make that vote a parish-wide vote. And I have an amendment as well, Mr. Speaker.
All right. Representative Ivey for a question.
Representative James, what is your intentions with this bill?
I just stated it. Weren't you listening?
I was listening. Is this for?
Did you read the bill?
I did read the bill.
Okay.
Is this for particularly for Baton Rouge? I also read the amendment you're about to propose.
It's specifically for Baton Rouge as it currently stands until the amendment is adopted.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll wait for my questions for the adoption of the minutes.
All right. No more questions on the amendments, Mr. Clerk.
The amendment is 4613 by Representative James. 4613.
Representative James.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment basically requires that this bill is only applicable to East Baton Rouge Parish. It says that in any special election held for the purpose of determining whether an unincorporated area that is situated within a parish with a population not less than 400,000 persons according to the latest federal census. This amendment was to ease concerns of several committee members because they didn't want this to affect their area, so I committed to them that I would amend the bill so it will only apply to East Baton Rouge Parish.
All right, there are no questions on the amendment. Is there any objection to the adoption of the amendment? Without objection. All right, back on the bill. Representative Green for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative James, your bill now only applies to East Baton Rouge Parish, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why are we doing it just for East Baton Rouge?
Because there are several members of the committee who had concerns about it applying to their local area. So it's only applying to East Baton Rouge Parish, the parish that's currently involved in an incorporation effort.
Well, and you say that they're currently involved in an incorporation effort in East Baton Rouge Parish, but is it, I mean, there's been nothing filed as far as you know, right?
That's correct. About it. That's correct. There's a lot of conversation about it, but there's no real effort going on currently.
So right now the law says that a special election for a petition to become a municipality in an unincorporated area just has to have the qualified electors in the area proposed for incorporation, correct?
Correct.
And so you wanted to say that it has to take the whole parish into consideration, right?
Yes, sir.
But just for East Baton Rouge. So
yes,
so we're going to have special rules just for East Baton Rouge, no other parish.
Yes, just like we have special rules that are proposed for East Baton Rouge Parish school system. Okay. And no other parish.
And I know nothing about that, but what special rules do we have for East Baton Rouge Parish?
We have other instruments that are out in this body in committee process that will have special rules just for our schools, just like several bills that we have that are local bills that we tailor them only to a specific area. Right.
And what I'm saying is you filed this originally for everyone, and now you're just tailoring it to East Baton Rouge Parish. And if the policy is good to allow everyone in a parish, whether or not they're in the incorporated municipality or not, to vote, then why wouldn't that be good for Bienville Parish? Why wouldn't that be good for Catahoula Parish, Orleans Parish? I mean, when you want to talk about when we have special rules, Orleans Parish would be one of the ones that has had that in the past, and we're getting away from that. So I'm just trying to understand why we're doing this just for East Baton Rouge Parish.
I've had several conversations with my colleagues, and they didn't want their parishes affected. And I don't live in those parishes. I live in East Baton Rouge Parish, so I wanted it to apply to the parish in which I live in. That's giving our citizens a lot of heartburn. So it's costing businesses a lot of money when they have to go and seek to get annexed into the city of Baton Rouge.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand why you would have the folks that aren't in that unincorporated area why you would have their vote needed for something when they're not trying to incorporate. If they want to get involved in the incorporation and be part of that unincorporated area, they would need to move into the unincorporated area and out of the incorporated area, correct?
That's correct, but if the tax dollars of the entire parish weren't affected, and if this effort wouldn't lead to an almost $50 million budget deficit for the parish, I wouldn't be here. If several members of the parish who feel like their tax dollars are affected and there's a potential that their tax dollars will be substantially increased, I wouldn't be here. So this effort has the potential to affect not only that small area that has sought forth to be incorporated, but I believe that it will affect the entire parish, and I believe that they all should have a say in it.
Well, right now the parish is collecting for any property within the entire parish. They won't be able to collect that tax if there's another incorporated municipality, right? That new municipality would be able to collect the tax, right?
Yes, but this still will create a budget deficit for the parish. The supporters of this movement say about $15 million. The local government and the chamber, they say about $50 million. So let's just meet in the middle. Let's say $30 million. I believe that that's too much of a deficit for only a small area of our parish to be.
So in East Baton Rouge Parish, if there are people out there, citizens of the parish, that want to gather and assemble and say they want their own form of government, they have to have permission from everybody, a majority of everybody in the parish, not just in the unincorporated area. You think that's fair?
I think it's fair when the tax dollars of the entire parish will be affected. I think that it's fair that everyone has a vote.
Well, I mean, it's everybody's tax dollars. They're all paying parish taxes, right?
Exactly. You just made my point. Everybody's paying, so everybody should have a voice.
I understand, but if they would just have it sent to a new entity, it wouldn't be that they would be increasing their taxes if they get incorporated, and they want to have local control of their own activities in their own municipality, right?
Actually, I'm trying to help you out, Representative Green, because if this passes, it would definitely lead to a tax increase. Luckily, the Senate just killed a bill that would have been a tax increase on their side, and I know you are for raising taxes on the citizens of East Baton Rouge Parish.
I'm not aware of one that was going to increase any taxes.
If this happens, taxes will be increased on both sides, in the incorporated area as well as the remainder of the parish.
Well, I mean, and that you're certainly entitled to your opinion, but it's my understanding that the bill that you may be referring to was a bill just for a transition period that would keep the same amount of tax. It would just provide that the parish couldn't, because the parish couldn't collect the tax in the new municipality, that the new municipality or that transition would be collecting that same amount that the parish couldn't collect. It's not going to be an increase. By that argument, that's kind of like saying that a renewal of the cigarette tax is a tax increase.
It depends on how
I know some people made that argument, which is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Representative James.
I didn't get a chance to talk to Representative Green. I am returning the bill to the calendar. I want to return to the calendar.
Without objection.